Hi everyone, it's Sherry from Art Party Boss, and today we are going to be making the spring bunny with our clay on canvas art kit from Art Party Boss. So here is the project. We'll first create it on a canvas and then we'll display it on our wooden easel. So I will be working directly from the Art Party Boss clay art kit, the spring bunny version. And if you don't have it, you can purchase this on artpartyboss.com or on our Etsy shop. If you're just going to follow along using your own clay and supplies, that's fine too. In the kit, everything is pre-cut, so everything is labeled and pre-cut for you. And then there's also some step-by-step directions that you could follow along if you're not watching the video. Okay, so let's get started right away. The first thing we need to do is to paint our canvas. So we'll take the large wax paper, which is in your kit, get my canvas ready, and I'm going to use my paint, open my paint container, and let's remember, just a reminder, to use a little bit of paint at a time. You can always add a second layer of paint if you want more coverage, but this will dry quicker this way. What we'll do now is we'll close up our paint. You should have plenty of extra paint to save for another project. I'll set that aside. I'll take my brush and either rinse it out under a little warm water, squeeze it, and then set it aside for another day, or you can just stick it in a cup of water if you want to do that. And then just slide your wax paper away from your work surface and let that dry while we work on the clay pieces. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to make the bunny's head. So you will take your largest piece of white clay, which is labeled in your kit, and then you're just going to warm it up in your hands and make a ball. So I just squeeze it and warm it up. So see, the heat from your hands will make the clay soft, and then you can do whatever you like with it. So you're just going to make a ball. And if you push your palms together, sometimes you can get a smoother ball. All right, so there's our ball. I'm just going to set that aside, and now I'm going to go ahead and make his little jacket. All right, so this I'm also going to start as a ball. It's nice to start all your shapes off as a ball. That softens the clay, and then you can make virtually any shape from that initial ball. So just do that. Now the shirt size, it's a little bit of an oval or a square. When you want to make a piece of clay larger, you don't want to push from the edges. Start from the middle and push, and that way the clay will just stretch out that way. So push from the middle and then shape it as you go. So I can just kind of take a guess of what size I need. I think that's about right. Put these two shapes away. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to make his arms. So these are smaller, and again, start as a ball and then a fat Tootsie Roll shape. So I have that about right like that, a little flat on either end. You want it to be a little bit chubby, right? See, so far we have some very easy shapes. Anybody can make these shapes. If you look at the overall bunny, he looks a little challenging, but really, if you have the patience to make all the pieces, you're going to be able to make that bunny. So now I'm going to make the paws right here. So let's just make two little circles. And you'll want them to be about the same size, so try to do that. They're about the same size, and now you can pick one of the ends that you like better. Let's see, we'll just flatten that a little bit. And I'm just going to stick it on there. Roll it, and it'll stick. If you really, really want to, you could use a little glue, but I don't normally do that. If you want to, you could just touch a tad, just a very little bit. Okay, and then you could just go like that. Okay, so now I have my two arms, now I have my body, my shirt, and my head. Okay, so now I think we'll make trim for the sleeves. So let's take the pieces that are labeled for that, and you're just going to make a short coil. It can be fat or thin. You could do it the way you like it. Let's see if that'll be big enough. Yeah, Remember, it doesn't have to go all the way around. Okay, and make a little bend in them and just push them into the other clay. How easy that is, look at that. Okay, so now, so for the belly, we just need a coil. Make a coil that's thinner on either end, so roll the ends and make that a little thinner. And now to add the belly, I'm just going to, there we go. Oh, there's his belly. Not too bad, he's looking pretty cute. Let's make his ears. So the ears are just teardrop shapes. They're just a little teardrop shape. So again, we'll start as a ball. And then we're just going to squeeze, make it a little bit wider. Here you go, and just pinch the sides gently. Let's see, is that, oh, that's a nice size ear. I like that size ear. Now, you have a big chunk of pink clay, and that's for all the little pink parts. So we'll just pinch off a ball, a little piece. You won't need very much at all. So I'm going to try to make the same shape. So again, I'm going to pinch and squeeze. All right, let me put that one in there. Oh, that's nice. That looks really good. All right, I'm just going to tap that down, and that'll hold that. Let's make one more. So there we have his ears. So we have the head, the ears. We have that. Let's go ahead and make his cheeks. All right. There, about the same size. And then I'm going to push them together. Just push them together. Now, before I do that, I'm going to just flatten it a little bit. Make a place for the face. Now I want to make a mouth, so I'm going to take just this side here and just lay it in there. That'll be his mouth. And then there you have his cheeks. Let's make his eyes. So I'm going to use the end of this stick and I'm going to make two eyes that are pretty close together. And I'm going to take this black clay and I'm just going to make a little ball and drop it in the hole. Make a little ball and drop it in the hole. A little bit of a nose. Tiny, tiny bit for nose. Their noses are small. There we go. And now I'm going to texture this nose, okay? So just lots of tiny, tiny dots with your toothpick, and that'll make the whiskers for your bunny. We're going to make his feet now. That's about right. Make it a little bit more narrow on the bottom. And I'll do the same thing to this one. Bottom on there. Okay, those look good. Now, I'm going to make the little dots on the feet. So I'm going to start with a pretty small piece. And I'm going to put it in the middle up here. There we go. Now I need another little small piece. There we go. Now we have his feet. Let's make the collar and have that all ready. That's just going to be a coil, and it's just going to cover up all the connection areas and kind of hold you together. All right, so we have that. So now let's dry. We're ready to go here, so it's all dry. So now we need to put the grass on. Now the green clay is really will stain your hands, just will make stains all over. So, but let's get the green clay out of the way here. I'm going to make a long coil. I'm going to make it about the length of here, so a little longer. And I'm just going to put it on the bottom of my canvas, push it down. And yeah, you want your canvas to be able to sit on your easel, so make sure you don't have it going below the bottom. And you can make some of it just go up like that, like grass grows uneven. And then just take that leftovers, fine if you have some that came off the side. All right, and then you might want to clean your hands, go clean all. Okay, so now it's time to texture our grass. We'll just use a toothpick here, and we can just drag it up from the bottom to create some lines that will suggest the texture of the grass. So you can just make a lot of lines, or change the depth which you pressure your toothpick with, and that'll make it look very realistic. Okay, there's our grass. So now we're ready to put our bunny in. Okay, so let's see how our bunny fits on our canvas. Just go ahead and place it and test to see how it fits on your canvas before we glue anything down. Okay, so once you have a pretty good idea of how you're going to shape your bunny, then we'll go ahead and just press the pieces in place a little bit, and then to use some clay, just take a dab with your fingertip and put it on the back. You do not need much, do not put too much glue. And then just put it in place, and you can still move it around a little bit even after you've put the glue on the back. Okay, so now we have decided where we're going to put our bunny on the canvas, and we have glue behind all of the pieces. And before we put our feet on, we need to texture any areas on the bunny that are above the feet, because you won't be able to reach them very easily once the feet are in place. And then you can also add some clay inside some other colors, so some more green or some more pink if you like, on your bunny as a design. Okay, so now let's get ready to add the feet. Okay, so the position of your feet will give a different look to your bunny. Do you want him to look like he's sitting or he's standing? The farther out they are, the more he'll look like he is sitting. And I'm just pushing this into the clay. I'm not going to use any glue for this, for the bunny feet. Okay, now we're ready to make our carrot. So just take a piece of the orange clay and roll it, start it as a ball and then roll it. And then we're going to put a little pressure when we roll on one end, a little more pressure to make it narrow on one end, just like a carrot would be. So just form it, and then we're going to put a hole, wiggle a toothpick in the end, and our stem of our carrots will fit in there later. You can texture with your toothpick by making alternating lines, just like a carrot would look. Repeat this process for the rest of your carrots. You could make many little carrots, or you can combine all the clay and make one big carrot. Think of some different things that you might want to do to your display. But don't worry about making them all identical, because no two carrots are completely alike. Okay, now let's make the stems for our carrots. Just pinch off a tiny piece of green clay and roll it into the tiniest coil you possibly can. Then fold that coil in half and gently put it in the hole that you made earlier with your toothpick. If you really want to add a dab of glue, you could do that, but it isn't necessary. The clay will stay in place all by itself. Okay, now we're ready to decorate and add our carrots to our canvas. So just before you put any glue on your canvas or on your carrots, first kind of move them around and see what the design is going to be. It's important to plan ahead to make sure you have what you like. So you could try different combinations of carrots, maybe them on the grass or all around. Maybe you'd like your bunny to hold one or more carrots. That would be cute. Maybe you decide you don't like quite as many carrots as you made. That's okay too. But once you decide on the design, just go ahead and put a tiny bit of glue on the back of the carrot and then place it on the canvas where you'd like it to stay. Now that you've finalized your design and your carrots are glued on, let's get ready to use some glitter. The glitter stick is optional, but it's in your kit along with jewels. So here's some ideas for what you can do with the glitter stick. You could just wiggle it all over and then spread it with your finger. You could make ziggy lines or outline all your elements, or you could do dots, anything that you want. So that's the using the glitter. And it's also a glue, so if you want to glue your jewels on, just put it on top of the glitter glue. Now you don't have to use the glitter. I didn't on my final sample, and I didn't use any jewels either. I thought my design had a lot going on and it wasn't necessary. But it's up to you, and it's a lot of fun to add the jewels, and it does add a little pop to your display. So if you want to make it really festive, you can go ahead and do that. If you're using a kit, just remember you're going to have a lot of extra supplies from your kit. So be sure to put the cap back on your paint and your glue and take care of your brush and use that for another project. So here's two different ways that I did my bunnies. One has jewels, one doesn't. One's a little more chaotic and one is more organized, so either way. So just remember that art is just like any other skill. The more you do it, the better you will get. Well, thank you so much for creating with me. I hope you had a wonderful time. If you would like to purchase this kit or any others, please visit our website or our Etsy shop.